where we're moving from our second step, which was story beats outline, to our scene cards, which is the last stage of our pre-writing process before we go to pages. So next weekend is when you'll be finished with these scene cards, and we should be ready to start writing the script after next weekend. All right, let's take a look at what we have today. So we have free classes coming up. We have loglines and sketchbooks. That's going to essentially be the week 1 class of the pilot bootcamp that starts Sunday, March 12th, 11 a.m. and will be running at that time slot, 11 to 1 on Sundays for 6 weeks. We have a free best protagonist for your story class, March 23rd, 6 p.m. That's going to be it's going to be angled towards writing for features. You're picking the main character for your feature film. But no matter what it is, you can always find interesting ways to match that character to that story to make sure we're choosing the right person to go on that journey and exhibit all the unique fun of that setup. We have Loglines and Queries, which is week 2 of our Novel Bootcamp. That's going to be our last free class in that series, so if you want to check out Novel Bootcamp before that really gets going, that last free class in that series, 11th of March, Saturday from 12 to 2, and that class will be in that same slot, 12 to 2 on Saturdays for the next 10 weeks after that. Then we have a free outlining class, March 16th, also on WordCamp at 6 p.m. 6 to 8 is when that one is running.
Also, we have an in-person event on Saturday. If anyone is around in New York. Yeah, Jason is hosting a get-together at a coffee shop in New York.
That's so cool.
Oh, yeah. And I just moved out.
Oh, dang.
Like under a year ago, had I known.
Do you have the details, Nacho?
Yeah, I'll post it here in the chat.
So for the East Coasters, check that out. New York, screenwriter and filmmaker, what is it? Meetup? Hangout? That sounds cool. Union Square. And that's tomorrow at 9 a.m., is that right?
Yeah, 9 a.m. our time.
Oh, 9 a.m. our time. Okay, so that would be at noon New York time, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so noon tomorrow in New York City at Union Square Coffee Shop. We're having a meetup. This is the first time hearing of it, but that's great. So yeah, you can meet Jason there, hang out, get to know each other, and start building that networking community.
Another one's coming up March 23rd in LA, downtown LA.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. March 23rd. That is in 2 weeks. Thanks, Nacho. We have a bunch of new options for consultations on the site, so you can check out story development sessions, premise and logline consultation for only $19 for members. Bootcampers are getting 50 to 90% off of these normal rates. Manuscript line editing, developmental editing, proofreading, query letter consultation, and first chapter consultations are now all available. ScriptCamp.net/coverage. Here's the bootcamps that are going on now. We have features, Fridays 6 to 8. That's what you're in right now. That one started February 24th, so we're on a week 3. We have 8 weeks in this class. We have Novel Bootcamp, Saturdays 12 to 2. That one we're on week 2. And we have Pilot Bootcamp. That's running for 6 weeks, and that actually starts, I guess that we had week 0 on that one, but we're moving towards week 1. So that one will be on Sundays from 11 to 1. Here's where we are. So we are on week 3, which is scene cards for Feature Bootcamp. That means by now we should be ready with that Story Beats outline. Everyone should have completed that Story Beats outline. And also, of course, continue to read a script every single week. So we're going to check in with everybody today, ask you how did things go, ask you where are you in your project, and also what did you read and what would you like to tell us about that. So if you still need to enroll and have not yet done so, you can sign up at scriptcamp.net/classes to buy the class on its own, or you can become a supporting member with unlimited membership at scriptcamp.net/membership. And if you sign up yearly, you will be saving about 40%. So huge discount, just $29 a month if you subscribe for the yearly option. All right, so class today, we'll start with those check-ins. We'll find out where is everybody on your project. Did you finish your story beats? I would hope that everybody has at least gotten close to finishing the story beats. If you're way behind, then you can also let us know that, and that is also important to note. So we will want to just find where everybody is going to be, and then ask what have you been reading, and what have you liked or noticed or learned, things like this. Class today will be starting with a brief review of structure. I think that last week it seemed like everybody said they had a pretty strong understanding of this and was getting what I was trying to convey about structure, and that we made sure to share this slideshow so you can study those diagrams and charts and stuff like that if you need to. But we will answer any remaining questions on this today, and I'm sure that actually trying to sit down and really write the story beats has maybe forced you to encounter some problems that you weren't sure were going to be there yet, or maybe there are big gaps left in your story. So we'll just try to get everyone on track today and make sure that everyone is on the correct pathway to move forward with their movie. We will look at scenes and just what goes into a scene, a basic sort of checklist for writing a scene, how to approach a scene, and how to make sure that we're doing everything we need to do in a scene, and also the two types of scenes, which I'm classifying as basically conflict scenes, where one person is trying to accomplish something standing in their way. They attempt various tactics to try to overcome that thing. They either succeed or they fail. And then the other type of scene, which is scenes that do not revolve around conflict, and we call those discovery scenes. So we'll break down those differences today, but just know that your script is mostly going to be really driven by conflict, and like the majority of scenes you write are going to be like the model I just described, which is person wants something stopping them, they attempt a tactic to get past it. They may have to adjust or try different tactics as appropriate for their character to try to overcome that obstacle, but ultimately every obstacle will bring them closer to or further from their final goal. And then we may have time for just some quick exercises today. I'd rather spend the time on talking one-on-one if anyone needs to get unstuck or needs to get back on track. I'd always rather spend the class time on doing that than doing slideshows or doing exercises, though. So we will have to see during the check-ins just what everyone's status is, but let's get into that right now. So go ahead and you can post your story beats in the assignments channel if you want me to review them. If you think they're fine and you don't want me to review them at all, that's less work for me, so that's fine. Just, you don't need to. But if you're unsure about something, or if you want to just get another pair of eyes before you move to the next step, or there's big problems in it that you think that are there, then you probably should share it in either PDF form or in a Google Doc that you can just make sure you adjust the sharing settings so that anyone can see them. So we're going to go down the list. I'm just going to call on everyone and just ask, where's your project at? What is your progress? Did you finish your story beats? Any issues that you are having that we need to address? And then I will ask, what did you read? And you'll tell us about the great scripts, the features that you've been reading lately. All right, let's go down the list. We'll start with Dan. Give us an update.
I'll be honest, I've been kind of swamped with real life stuff going on. So if I fall behind, I won't even be available for next week. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish it on time this time around.
That's okay. Just got to try your best. So you're saying you haven't finished the story beats yet?
Correct. And
okay.
I won't even be for next week's lesson.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, you'll have some, I guess, maybe a little time to try to catch up. If you don't catch up, that's also okay. You're an unlimited subscriber, so you can always either wait till the next one, or you can...
I might have to do that, but I still want to listen in just to keep constant refresher.
Sure, that makes sense. Okay. Have you had time to read any scripts?
Oh, lots of preparing. I'm going to be with my fiance all next week, so I had to do a lot of preparing to make sure it's clean enough.
Okay, well, just do your best. When you join us next, I'm sure that you'll have at least been able to think about it some more and do some planning in your head. So
absolutely,
it's okay if you fall a little behind.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Let's check with Carmen.
Hey guys.
Hey. How's everything?
Everything is really, really awesome. And so I read Constantine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I really like that movie.
I'm sorry.
I said I really like that movie. You mean the script, right? Not the comic book?
Yeah, the script, and okay. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I thought it was I think the reason why, I know Nacho's like thinking I'm crazy about this maybe, but it just, maybe it's not me, maybe it is kind of slow, because it was like in 1995, wasn't it, when it came out?
No, 2005.
No, 2005. So movies have gotten a lot faster now, right? Because yeah, okay, so that's what it is. I don't mind for things to go really slow in this case, because after page 80 things pick up so well and the fighting scenes are really awesome. I was kind of dragging along before page 80, and it just, I was kind of bored, and which was weird, right? Because I guess it's a good script.
I'm not sure which one you read. There were so many drafts of that script, and it went through so much development. I think it's quite. Have you seen the movie? I think it's quite different from.
I remember when I saw the movie because of the person I went with to go see it, and it was pretty dang awesome. The movie, the visuals and stuff, and I think we weren't really like altogether used to those kind of images as much as we are now, maybe. I don't know. What era am I in? But
Who knows anymore?
I know. So I think that there was just so much talking going on. And, I didn't understand the beginning at all for some reason. I kept trying to piece things together. So, yeah, I read Constantine, and I was really glad that I disciplined myself to get all the way through the script.
Great. Because
normally, if I'm not excited about what I'm reading, I just give up on it because I'm too busy,
Sure.
So it was just there was some repetition, some really long, dialogue. I didn't understand what was so, maybe it could be me, to be honest with you. It could be that I'm not really engaging with what I'm reading because I'm so busy, but I'm just trying to get through a script so I don't show up into this class and be like, oh, I didn't read anything,
Sure.
So I'm really trying to do the reading. It's just really hard with my schedule. So, but yeah, once I got to around page 80, I was like, wow, this is getting really good. So, okay, so there's a lot of over-explaining in this particular version of the script. That is not necessary. Those sentences at the end of action explaining what the writer was saying already, and it was very clear in my mind was happening. So I found those to be, and I find this a lot, those explanations, and it takes away from, I don't know what the word is. I don't know how to explain it, but it just kind of takes away from the reading for me when the author is explaining themselves when they don't need to. So that was annoying.